with some very high aggression very soon.
Yeah, we're going to be spawning in here on Coda, the Ladder Edition, no less. It is our red Zerg player. He won game 1, but now it's tied up. Can he bring it back? It is from Team Ascension, NoRegreT.
On the other side of this desert wasteland, we have our blue Zerg representing gear in the rear. This is SteAdfaSt.
Alright, so a Zerg versus Zerg on Coda. And this map is kind of like Catalina in the sense where it appears to be small, but the routes you have to take to get across are actually rather long for a two-player map. And, you know, controlling that Xel'Naga tower could be a big boon for this matchup, as it'll allow you to see most of the ramps around the center base.
Thus far, we've just got the mirrored builds coming out from these two. Nothing like crazy 9 pools or 10 pools. Instead, it was, I believe, the 11 gas or 12 gas coming out from these guys. They're just playing a bit more standard. Pool going to be coming down as well. So these guys going to be completely mirroring each other, as is, you know, kind of expected.
Mm-hmm. And right now, yeah, as you said, just mirroring builds. It is a mirror matchup. Not too surprising to see them do similar things, especially in the very tense Game 3 situation where you don't have a lot of wiggle room. You have to make sure that you play your absolute best so that you can make yourself into the grand finals and just sit pretty, waiting for an opponent to come up.
Yeah, I mean, once they get into the grand final, they get to wait a little bit. At least one more match has to be played out before the grand final can be played out, the loser bracket finals. So you get to sit back while, if you're the loser, you're immediately put back into the wolves' nest, back into the wolves' den, as it were. And you have to fight out against another opponent who may very well be Believe. And if it's not Believe, then it's the guy who beat Believe, and that's bad enough.
Yeah. Yep. And there was a bit of lag, but it looks like we're good now. And
you almost DC'd.
That's weird, because my StarCraft was not frozen at all. Well, whatever.
No problem.
Metabolic boost coming up for both of our players here right now. Failing this on the way. Sticking with the mirrors, minus the fact that we have an Overlord coming up for NoRegreT and a drone for SteAdfaSt.
Yeah, the extractor trick allowing him to get out that drone before the Overlord. Ling's going to be making their way across the map, but these guys are so mirrored that the advantage usually falls with the defender, those faster reinforcements and those just extra bit of units. Ooh, actually not if this queen gets a complete surround and gets locked down. This will be a huge problem for SteAdfaSt. He does manage to pull the queen away, kills a couple of Lings as well, forcing back NoRegreT from this attack.
Yep, and right now we've got a few more Zerglings going to be heading north for NoRegreT here. Baneling's going to be on the way for both sides, actually, and I feel like NoRegreT, he may want to just hold off a bit, just get a few more Zerglings in his pocket before he goes in and throws everything out of that pocket straight at SteAdfaSt's face.
He has to be very careful with these next few engagements. Banelings being mixed in for both players means that this knife fight gets that much more explosive. And Baneling's going to be waddling their way towards
into the
hatchery. Well, that's not usually the ideal situation that you want for, but Baneling's going to be kind of waddling their way around as the drones actually deal with the Lings from NoRegreT. Oh, the queen goes down.
Yeah, cleans up the rest of the Lings, but yeah, as you said, queen going down. Still has one remaining as SteAdfaSt. Again, is that kind of player that just has a bunch of queens and wants to get his creep spread going as quickly as possible. Looks like neither of these players are going to be letting up. SteAdfaSt still morphing in a couple more Banelings. He's got a few more Zerglings on the dock, and NoRegreT, he's brought in 4 Banelings here this time around, and still has a couple more Zerglings. Banelings going to get cleaned up.
Ooh, and the last Baneling does go down. NoRegreT on the production tab for the majority of this last couple of minutes. He's just had Zerglings and Banelings. He's going to be continuing with that. Gets a nice surround on this queen. Is going to be able to clean up the queen really quite nicely. And now there's just a couple of morphine in banelings that he has to deal with. He needs to get the drone kills. He needs to even this worker supply up. NoRegreT is into that kind of do or die situation, but he's doing well so far, eliminating the banelings of his opponent, morphing in additional banelings for himself to utilize. And now that's the hits that he needs. Those are the kills that he wanted as he climbs ahead in that worker tab, and he still has a couple of Zerglings alive in the main base of his opponent.
And he's going to be morphing in even more banelings here, trying to get as much damage done as possible. Looks like, nope, the queen is not going to let that happen. Actually going to try morphing in on the low ground, just so that he can distract that queen. The queen now on the ramp. No creep, will not be able to get out. Gets completely surrounded. Will go down. More banelings getting morphed in. And GG comes out from SteAdfaSt. NoRegreT wins the series.
He shows why he's that number 2 seed when it comes to those critical moments. One click can make the difference between winning and losing. NoRegreT getting that baneling hit exactly what he needed, and very well played from him. He advances on to the grand final of today.
Yep, he sits pretty. He has a guaranteed ticket to Enthusiast Gaming Live, or at least a refunded ticket. It gets at least $25, looking to make that $50 for first place. Of course, if you're wondering what is Enthusiast Gaming Live, well, it is the large game convention. First time it's happening here in Toronto at the International Centre all of next weekend. There's going to be a lot of big names there, as there's basically every relevant esport going to be taking place. You've got, Dota 2, which ESChamp is also going to be helping with. You've got some Counter-Strike Global Offensive. You've got Smash Bros. You've got Ultra Street Fighter 4. You've got the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. All sorts of games. And, there's even going to be a nice little concert featuring DJ Cutman on Saturday night. So that's going to be really fun to watch. But definitely, if you're free next weekend and are in the Toronto area, should come out to Enthusiast Gaming Live. Tickets are on sale at tickettix.com/enthusiastgaminglive. And of course, I'll be there. Cyber, unfortunately, will not be there. But Endersword will be, WarChamp, Seven, Draconis, all of the ESChamp crew. And I think that's going to be that for Winners Finals. Yep. And we're going to be getting into our losers semis, which is going to be Seraph versus Believe. Should be a pretty good PBT. First one of the day, I believe.
Yeah, we've seen our ZBTs. I don't know if there was maybe one that played out that we didn't actually catch here on the stream, but, we're going to be seeing a nice mix as far as the matchups go. We saw some ZBT, PVZ, ZBZ. So a nice mix-up overall. It's not like, top 8 is 5 Zergs and then its top 4 is 4 Zergs or anything like that. We do have a nice bit of a mix. Of course, NoRegreT securing himself that top 2 position. SteAdfaSt guaranteeing himself top 3. But if he wants those additional points, those additional dollar bills, y'all, he's going to need to beat the winner of Seraph versus Believe. And I feel like Believe is still going to be the favored one there.
Yep, we'll have to find out. But first, we'll be going to a quick 2-minute or 3-minute break. So that way we can get our lobby set up, get all our players in, and then, of course, we'll be back with our losers semis. So stay tuned.